Welcome to Scare Talk, a horror movie podcast for horror film reviews, ratings, rankings, and rumors. Now for your hosts, Danny, Joel, and Katrina.
Whoa, this is Scare Talk. I am Danny, and I'm here with Kanga, Katrina.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And we have no Joel today, so he does not get a name. The movie we're going to be reviewing has not been released in his area, and we don't know when it's coming to streaming, so we don't know when he's going to see it, and we wanted to get this review out. We have a lot to say, so we're not waiting for you, Joel.
Sorry, Joel.
So the movie we're going to be talking about today is Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Boom.
As you can see behind us, we have Pooh's little friend, Tigger. We have the Christopher Robin movie, and we have some roses. For Winnie the Pooh, they're yellow, kind of like him.
Try
and then we randomly have Chucky and Gizmo. All right, so Katrina, can you do Joel's work here and tell us who is a part of this?
Yes, I will. So this movie was directed by, we're going to try to get the names right here, Rice Frake Waterfield. And he directed other movies such as Area 51 Incident. Really, that's the only other one he directed so far. He also has another one coming, Peter Pan, Neverland Nightmare. I wonder how many times we're going to get the boom. And then we've got Maria playing as Maria. Maria Taylor playing as Maria.
Oh, okay.
And she was in Perfectly Frank and Dinosaur Prison.
Oh, yeah.
And then Craig David Dowsett playing as Pooh Bear.
Pooh.
And he was also in Area 51 Incident. So Rice has used him before. Mm-hmm. And The House That Zombies Built.
Oh, yeah.
And
what is he playing in that? He's
you were laughing about it.
A
rabbit.
Something about a
zombie rabbit.
Zombie Easter bunny or something.
Yeah. Okay. And then we've got Chris Cordell, who plays as Piglet. And he was also in I Killed Solomon Reed.
Okay. And
Spider in the Attic, which got a whopping 2.8.
On IMDb.
Yeah.
That might be one of the lowest scores I've ever seen.
So.
All right. Is that everybody?
That's it.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
there's more people.
But the characters... Not these characters, but the characters that this movie is actually about.
The original books.
Yes.
And story. Yeah.
Were written by A.A. Milne.
All right.
Just in case anyone didn't know that.
All right, so the synopsis here. After Christopher Robin abandons them for college, Pooh and Piglet embark on a bloody rampage as they search for a new source of food. Which, should we go spoiler? No, we're not
yet.
gonna do spoilers. Okay.
No.
We'll do spoilers after we give a general review and then give a score.
Okay.
Okay. Well, let's start with this. What were you expecting or anticipating for this movie to be like?
Well, I did not want to see this movie. I was not excited about the thought of Pooh and Piglet going on a rampage.
Yeah.
A bloody rampage.
Yeah.
And I was expecting it to really ruin these characters. Or not ruin them, but like...
Yeah.
Be just so heartbreaking.
Yeah.
So I didn't have very high expectations for this movie.
Okay. So
that's where I'll leave it, I guess.
This was one of my most anticipated movies of the year. If you go back and listen to our episode on that, you would know this. I was looking forward to it when it was announced. I like kind of like parody, over the top, not, kind of making fun of itself type horror movies. And I felt like this was the perfect, like, these are the perfect characters to do that with because they're, I guess they had Piglet be like a boar, like a wild boar. So that's kind of a scary animal. And then Pooh Bear is a bear. So it's like, okay, it makes sense that they would be aggressive and, so.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're these lovable characters turned horror is, I don't know, it's fun. So I was excited for that. Mm-hmm. Then when the trailer came out, it looked pretty serious, like it was going to be a more taken seriously horror movie. So then I was still excited, but not as excited because I was not wanting something so serious.
Okay. So you could tell, or you felt like you saw it being more serious just from the
trailer. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it looked good from the trailer to me as far as just like a horror film, but it wasn't what I was expecting it to be when they announced it. And, I thought there would be something funny in the trailer, but there really wasn't other than just the idea that it's Winnie the Pooh and Piglet doing this, That's kind of funny, but,
Yeah. I think the most disappointing part for me in the trailer was seeing Piglet. Even as much as I didn't want them to ruin my childhood characters, I was like, how are they even going to call that Piglet?
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't look like him at all.
No.
Winnie the Pooh, I think, the look for him is decent. Mm-hmm. You can actually tell it's supposed to be him. But Piglet is basically a wild boar, like kind of like the Saw pig mask almost, but like some tusks and stuff, and so
it doesn't really resemble. It doesn't resemble Piglet really at all.
No, so so that was my initial expectations.
Okay,
so what did you think of it overall? We have a lot to say in the spoilers.
Yeah, that's the thing. Overall, I thought, it was what it was. I thought, I was, it's funny because I was kind of glad that it didn't ruin my characters, like I was saying I didn't want them to. Yeah. But at the same time, that's kind of what made me think, okay, that was dumb.
Kind of didn't serve its purpose.
Yeah.
To a certain degree.
Yeah. I did not walk away from... Yeah.
The purpose.
I didn't walk away from it thinking, okay, I walked away from it feeling like, all right, there we go. We did it.
Yeah. So this was in select theaters throughout the country on like a Wednesday, February 15th. And I think they ended up extending it for like a week or something. Maybe not in all theaters that it was in, because I don't think our theater had it showing any other day but Wednesday. So, it was out there as, this is in theaters. It was, so it made its rounds and it's been successful.
I was surprised at how much people actually went out to see it.
Yeah, we actually bought tickets like a couple hours early because I was seeing that the tickets were being sold. There was like 30 tickets sold in our theater, so...
Which is, I guess, a lot for a Wednesday night, but that doesn't sound like a lot.
Well,
30 tickets.
The theater,
is that including us?
Big. No, that's not including us. So 34 tickets at least.
Wow. Yeah, when we walked in, and we walked in right when it was time to start.
Yeah.
And it was pretty empty, and I thought, really? We had to hurry up and get tickets for this?
Well.
But, yeah.
That's what it showed me.
That's what it showed.
Maybe they were just trying to make it seem like it was more filled up than it was. I don't know.
There were a good amount of people who came later.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, so for me, it was okay. It's kind of, to me, just average slasher with Winnie the Pooh kind of in the title. And, kills are okay. I kind of like the score. I thought some of the music was kind of tense at times. Like I kind of.
It's been a while since you've mentioned the score.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, now I'm going to mention
to be
it
all about the score.
Well, I guess there hasn't been any noteworthy scores
since Pearl.
Yeah, Pearl had it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Winnie the Pooh apparently is the next movie I'm going to mention. And I think sometimes I think of if the score stands out a lot in a good movie, then I'm going to mention it. Mm-hmm. But if I'm really trying to reach for positives,
that's when
then I'll mention it or I'll notice it more.
Yeah.
So that might be the case here. I'm trying to find some good stuff to say.
Yeah.
There are certain shots that I liked. I feel like it overall was, filmed pretty decently. Some of the shots were pretty cool.
I was disappointed with some of the shots and how it was filmed.
Okay.
Because it was dark and it was hard to see what was happening.
Yeah, during some of the kills, it was hard to see, but I'm not talking about those moments necessarily. I'm talking about more of other times in the movie. Like when they're in the 100-acre woods and they show like all the trees and then the camera kind of zooms into the darkness. Like that was kind of cool. I like that stuff.
There was one point where it was like walking through the woods and stuff and it was kind of Evil Dead-ish.
Yeah. Yeah. So I like that. I like the intro, the beginning, the little story at the beginning.
I did too.
I like that.
That was probably
Christopher Robin was okay.
Yeah.
I thought he was pretty good.
Yeah.
And he's a I mean, we didn't mention him in the cast, but he's a pretty big part of the movie. So I thought he was pretty good.
Yeah. Well, okay, so going back to the intro, that was probably my favorite part of the movie.
Okay.
Well, I'll say my favorite ones during spoilers.
Okay.
But that was one of my favorite things that they did of the movie, and that was really an homage to. Is that the right word?
The homage
to
the
to the original story.
Yeah.
And then Christopher Robin was good.
Yeah. Christopher Robin.
Yeah, I know. I always do that. He was good, and I appreciated that they. Well, yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave it there.
Like you said, Piglet was pretty lame as far as what he looked like. I'm just gonna say this: the fact that they didn't talk was a disappointment to me. When I saw the trailer, I didn't expect them to.
Yeah.
It didn't. I feel like they would have put that in the trailer.
Yeah.
If they were going to. And they're really just dudes in a mask and gloves, you know? Like,
I mean,
there's no like makeup or like, you know,
Yeah.
practical effects with what they look like. It's like really just a mask, and then you see their hands, and you know, I don't know about Piglet. I don't know if we saw his hands or not.
I know.
Pooh had he just had like gloves on.
Yeah.
So they're supposed. They kind of mention that they're like half bear,
Half breed, yeah.
like person or half mutant or
Yeah.
something. So that kind of, I guess, explains why they look the way they look. But
Yeah, and why they like walk upright and everything.
Yeah.
Like they were superhuman.
Yeah.
Like
Superhuman, or
I mean, not
Like-
not superhuman, but like they were very human-like.
yeah, yeah. And so that was, you know, I kind of knew that going in, but I thought they were going to have a little bit more fun with that. I think, and
Yeah.
they didn't. They didn't really. It just kind of was what it was.
Yeah.
The cast is fine, just generic slasher cast.
Yeah.
No real personalities, or I mean, I guess one of them kind of had like a personality where she was like this Instagram girl, you know.
Oh,
that was
yeah.
kind of her thing. And one had
Well, and-
a backstory,
Yeah.
which wasn't, I don't know, didn't really go anywhere. But I guess it was sort of supposed to be character development, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
But for what? I
Yeah,
don't know.
Yeah, I don't know why that was necessary. So yeah, I mean, like I said, overall average slasher movie, straight to, like back in the day, straight to VHS or straight to DVD on the rental shelf, with Winnie the Pooh in the title. And
So
this
would you
used
call
to-
that a B movie?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. This this used to be kind of a thing where, I think I mentioned this before in the podcast, where a certain movie would come out, like Snakes on a Plane, right? So that movie would come out. It was kind of a big thing. It was in theaters. Samuel L. Jackson, you know, it was big. And then there would be a straight to DVD movie that came out at the same time as Snakes on a Plane was in theaters, called Snakes on a Train.
Oh.
Yeah. So it would like trick people into renting it.
Oh, wow.
And so this reminded me of that. It was that kind of movie where it was like very low budget, kind of just gimmick. Like the title is kind of what draws you in, and the curiosity of
That's
it.
100% why people went to the movie.
Yeah. That's why I wanted to see it.
I know.
I wanted to see what they were gonna do.
Yeah, and that's why I didn't want to see it. And
I know. I wanted the exact things that you didn't.
yeah. And then I was disappointed for the same reasons that you were.
So let's get into some of those specifics. You're disappointed, so we're gonna do this.
Oh. I've been waiting to do that one. I've been like dying to do it.
Okay.
But I was looking for the the scream.
Scream one, yeah.
Okay, so spoilers.
Wait. We have to rate it first.
Oh,
Then we'll do spoilers.
I thought we were saying that we were doing
No,
spoilers.
okay. Not
I
yet.
didn't. I was too focused on the board.
Okay, go ahead and rate it. What are you gonna give it?
I forgot to come up with a score. I'll say 65.
Okay. I'm gonna go 60.
Oh wow! I rated it higher than you.
Yeah, I mean, the more I think about it, the more I didn't like it.
Yeah,
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 I just feel like there's so much opportunity that was missed
yeah.
with this, and
I mean, I could have rated it a 50 something, but
Yeah.
I was trying to be nice. I don't have a rubric.
yeah,
Like-
neither do I.
When we first started, I talked about wanting to have a rubric.
Yeah,
I never made it, so
Yeah.
now
Well, you
my
better get on
ratings are
that.
just all over the place. Okay.
You ready now?
Now, are we ready?
Okay, spoiler time. All right.
Now our listeners all know that it's not us actually screaming.
Oh yeah, that's what they thought.
Ugh.
Okay, so I will start it off. Like I said,
Are you going to tell the whole movie?
No. Like I said, Winnie the Pooh and Piglet do not talk, and that would have probably raised my score about 10 to 15 points if they would have talked and had funny lines and had funny voices.
Tell me about funny lines.
Like if Pooh like killed somebody and then said something silly like, "Oh bother," or like,
Yeah.
or if he said like some dumb like pun, or
Okay.
something like that with a funny voice, like a scary Winnie the Pooh voice.
Okay.
Like
a scary Winnie the Pooh voice.
like a more raspy.
Oh, bother.
Yeah, something like that, so that you remember. Okay, that's right.
Would he
that's
say
Winnie the
stuff
Pooh.
like, tomorrow's always, I don't know, tomorrow's never
philosophical-
promised?
No. Well, and I also wanted Winnie the Pooh and Piglet to have like
To interact.
interactions with each
Yeah.
other, because Piglet, like in the stories, he was like he looked up to Pooh, right?
Yeah.
He was like his, Pooh was like his mentor or whatever. So, and Pooh was like the leader between the two of them in this movie, I would say. He was like the main guy, the main villain.
Yeah.
And so he could have had interactions with Piglet where he was kind of the ringleader, like he was kind of directing Piglet on what to do, or
Well, because
something like that.
Piglet's big character was he was always afraid.
Yeah.
And so that's why Pooh was always helping Piglet out, like encouraging him, like, we're going to get through this.
Yeah, so that would have been perfect. Like, oh, we need to eat, Piglet. Like, we're out of food, I need your help. Like, conversations like that where maybe Piglet is a little apprehensive about it. Maybe he's like not wanting to kill.
Yeah.
But Pooh's kind of, encouraging it or whatever.
Yeah.
But in a funny voice.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, to be fair to the movie, it has been 5 years that they've been already fending for themselves.
Yeah. So maybe not that direct example, but some sort of interaction.
Having something like where he's getting hesitant or something. And in this, I felt like there were times that Piglet was more the one who was more aggressive and more like crazy.
Yeah.
Piglet didn't seem like Piglet at all.
No.
Like, there was no Pooh. You saw a little bit of Pooh, and they added little things.
Yeah, like the honey and stuff.
And that's one of my issues, is, like, it was great that they added honey and whatever in a really weird and disgusting way. But you couldn't tell it was honey for the longest time. It seemed like he was just drooling.
Yeah.
And you didn't know what was
some sort of coloring.
Yeah,
with it. It was just,
like, it doesn't take that much effort to make it look
or
like
just
honey.
use actual honey.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just a mask.
It's just a mask. Yeah. But
and like something else they could have done, like, because they had the big honey, like from Winnie the Pooh, the big honey barrels in the honey pot. Like, they had that, and it looked like Winnie the Pooh, which was cool. I thought that.
Yeah, but you couldn't
good.
see them very much. Like, you couldn't see the barrels. That's it. One of the parts where it's like so dark.
Well, I mean, there was one that was outside, that was like in the light. That when they first showed up at the house.
Oh, maybe I just missed that
with the trailers outside. That it was there, and it had it showed it. It had like blood on it, and okay.
I guess I didn't realize that was honey.
Yeah, it was one of the honey pots, and so like he could have Pooh could have like picked that up and like hit somebody with it, or like put it over their head, or something like.
Because Pooh used to always like try to get in the honey, and he'd get stuck.
Yeah,
so,
could have done something like that.
Putting someone in it would have been funny.
Yeah. Like, just, I mean, this is just off the top of my head. Like, I didn't even think of these things until right now, and it's like, how is that not what you're gonna do?
Yeah, Yeah.
So this movie was supposed to. I mean, it took itself seriously with a couple of winks at Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
And something that you had mentioned before, that as you talking about it makes me think the same, is you really do forget that you're watching a Winnie the Pooh thing.
Yeah. I mean, just talking about it is more funny than the actual movie.
Yeah.
Like, talking about the idea that this is a Winnie the Pooh slasher movie. Like, he's Winnie the Pooh going around killing people. You forget that that's who it is because there's no other indication that it's either of them aside from like a Halloween store looking mask, like a spirit store or something.
And I mean, at least they made Pooh to actually look somewhat like Pooh Bear, Yeah. It was kind of funny the outfit that he had on.
Yeah.
He was like a lumberjack Pooh Bear. Like, I thought he was gonna actually have the Winnie the Pooh outfit.
Shirt,
it would be funny if it was like this crop top. Because that's what he always wore.
That would have been way better, way funnier. Like
I mean, he could have pants on or something, but have like an actual red crop top. Like,
they could have done it.
I know.
And I think the reason why they had the whole lumberjack thing was because it was to cover his full body.
Because it was,
because it's just a guy.
That's
but they could have made
a
suit, like prosthetic, like stomach, and could have made a Winnie the Pooh.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Is like they put a little bit of a belly on the guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's his real belly, but like that's all. Like it was like just a human.
Could have been so much better with the costume design and the one-liners. Some of the kills could have been more creative and funny.
Yeah.
And that's what I imagine 99% of the people that go and see this movie, that's what they're going for.
Yeah.
They're expecting that. And basically none of that.
Well, because that's why they're going. It's because it's a Winnie the Pooh movie.
Yeah. So you take the mask off of him and put a horse mask on there or something, and it's the same movie.
Yeah. It's not. I mean, they started out really strong. Yeah. They started out with this beginning where it was explaining what happened to them.
Yeah. Why
they are what they are now.
Yeah.
They even had it written, drawn out, like the little characters and stuff. And they explained that this all happened because of the trauma of having to eat Eeyore and everything. And that was so great because then right when I saw that, I thought, oh, okay, this might be good.
Yeah.
This might actually be a good movie. And then that was it.
Yeah.
That's where it ended.
Yeah, that's where they had really ended.
They had Christopher Robin.
Yeah.
But even that they screwed up because he says to his wife who's going to the forest that this is that she's the only person he's ever taken there.
Right.
And then later on they have this chick that somehow hear Piglet and Pooh talking to each other, somehow know what their names are.
Yeah.
And somehow know that they talk to each other and that they're mutant animals. Like, know their whole backstory.
And they vowed to never talk again.
Yeah. They had vowed to never talk again. We didn't get to hear them talk at all.
Yeah.
But somehow she heard them talk. And it's like, oh, so if they're having conversation together, why didn't we get to be a part of that?
Well, it sounds like they need to make a prequel about her, so then we can hear them talk, and it would be better.
Yeah, because
I want to see that part.
Apparently, it was just that one day that they captured her, and then everyone else they chose to kill. Yeah, but this chick got to live.
She just got to be tortured
and get mauled by Eeyore, or what the heck? He looks more like he would be Eeyore than he is Piglet. Yeah. But
well, okay, but how about that scene? I feel like this was a good scene where they capture Christopher Robin, and he's like, kind of tied up, and then Pooh goes over to him, and Christopher Robin's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I know I said I'd never leave," and blah blah blah, and then Pooh kind of has the flashbacks, when he was a kid, and that was one of my favorite
scenes. That's one of the ones that was one of my favorites, and what I liked about it was Pooh, right? Yeah. Like he had the flashback, and it went to actual Christopher Robin when he was a kid. Yeah. And I don't know if it was actual scenes from movies or
probably not.
That would have been kind of cool. But it was actually showing him, remembering him as a kid. Yeah. And then it showed like a little teardrop coming off of Pooh's face, which was the same color as the honey. Yeah. The same consistency and everything. Yeah. But then he gets like angry about it. Yeah. And he takes what I think, and then he takes what I think was Eeyore's tail. Yeah. And starts whipping Christopher Robin with it. And I'm like, that was like the perfect way to bring it all around. Yeah. Yeah. And they needed to have more of that. Yeah. Within the movie.
Like right there could have been some dialogue. Like Pooh could have said some things there. Yeah. And like, it's fine to make it a serious tone, but with goofy kills and like the dialogue being like they're serious. Like Winnie the Pooh is serious about what he's saying, and he has like a serious tone to his voice, but the things that he's saying are ridiculous and just funny. Yeah. That's like the dark comedy that I think would have been perfect for this. Yeah. That they just
I do think that scene was successful without him talking because of how they filmed it. You know, like with the tear, with the Eeyore tail.
I didn't realize that until you mentioned it. And I was like, oh yeah, because I thought it was the hair from the girl, but yeah, she didn't have long hair and it was like a braided ponytail. Yeah, which is like what Eeyore has. So
and it left like these welts, and I was telling you, like Eeyore's tail was always nailed in and always falling off. Was weird. He'd always lose his tail. And so
a little bow on it. So weird. This is a weird little character. So yeah, I mean, overall, I'm just kind of frustrated with it.
And they didn't have any other characters. No, like they mentioned them at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, I didn't expect other characters.
I thought maybe they'd make a little bit of a
little cameo or something.
Yeah. Something.
But there is already, before this even came out, there is a Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2 in production. So I imagine we'll see other characters with that. Yeah. And apparently with the money that this has already made, they have a much bigger budget that they're going to be using going into this new one. So hopefully... And I'm sure that there's been a lot of criticism, similar to what I'm saying. And so I hope that for the next one, they kind of take that into consideration and make a more enjoyable, entertaining movie. Yeah.
Well, and the thing is like they threw in these things that just didn't matter, didn't go anywhere. Like you said, the character development was there in a way, but it didn't go anywhere. Right. It didn't add value.
Yeah.
And that's where I think that this writer is going wrong, because I'm like such a pro to be like critical of writing. But.
You just gotta, I don't know. It's like they took this super serious.
Yeah.
With that whole, especially that, I guess she's the main character, her backstory, like this stalker and like this, potential sexual assault and all that. It's like, real? Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
But then it goes nowhere.
And like, that's the thing, is if they were going to do that, I think I had told you an idea in my head, was that they could have taken that and had like Pooh be, because they kind of like alluded to, oh, this is your stalker. Yeah. But they could have had it where Pooh and Piglet were watching and were like having either flashbacks or talking about how this is what our life could have been like if Christopher Robin didn't leave us. Yeah. And that's what makes him so mad at them and want to attack them.
Right.
Because they're triggering them to think of his trauma. Yeah. Add a little bit, just like a tiny bit, and then give Pooh and Piglet a little bit more of a personality,
that's a good way to put it, a personality. Yeah. They needed to have some sort of personality. If you're going to use Winnie the Pooh and Piglet, they have big personalities. Yeah. So if you don't put any of that in the movie, then it's not a Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, because they lost their... Yeah. They were almost going with, okay, you already know these characters, so we don't have to do any character development.
Right.
But it's like, but you're giving us totally new characters, because our characters wouldn't have gone on this bloody rampage. So you need to develop them a little.
Yeah. Yeah. So, definitely banked off the name and the concept, but didn't execute it. I think it could have been really, really good. I think it could have been a really fun movie, but
I think if we had written it,
I know we're like 30-something minutes into this, and it already sounds better. Yeah, and just you saying, like, describing the movie, the things that happen in the movie, and just saying Winnie the Pooh and Piglet is more funny. Like, just the idea of that is more funny than the movie, like actually watching it. Yeah, which is like
because you really do forget that you're watching a Winnie the Pooh and Piglet movie. Yeah. I mean, Piglet's not even Piglet. Like, there is no
resemblance to
nothing.
Piglet.
Like, no anything that's Piglet in that. So it was really Pooh Bear running around with this crazy wild boar. Getting this wild boar to jump on board with him. And, and then when he turns into this, like, giant...
Oh, yeah, that was weird.
They couldn't decide what they were doing with him, I feel like.
I don't... Okay, so if you've seen the movie, hopefully you have.
I know. If you're still listening.
I'm just wondering if other people... like what they think of that, because I thought it was just like a weird filming, like a weird angle, or just like a weird choice to show it like that. Yeah. But you think they were trying to show that he actually grew?
I mean, it seemed like it to me, like they were. So they're all standing in a circle. Oh my gosh, I have so much to say about this. Like, the fact that, okay, right before this scene, this one chick by herself is able to hit Eeyore over the head with a mallet.
Not Eeyore.
No, what is his name? Piglet. It's not Piglet. Hit Piglet over the head with a mallet and take him down completely, be able to tie him up, and if you've seen the movie, hopefully you've seen the movie by now, but he's bigger than Pooh is, Piglet, which is silly too, because Piglet's the little one, but they're able to tie him up and then beat him to death. Yeah. And then 4 guys all together in a circle can't beat Pooh at all.
Well, it's Pooh.
Yeah. Okay. But this is the thing. Is Pooh's hand starts like bleeding and whatever. Yeah. And you don't even know where, like why all of a sudden he has this blood on his hand.
Yeah.
But then that's the first part is he like turns like superhuman and like slaps this guy just like a, punk slap this guy and like welts his whole face from this one slap. Like it's this superhuman hand. And then the next guy, like he's like huge and he keeps growing and growing and getting bigger.
Was he getting bigger?
I mean, it seemed like it because the other guy looked like he was like shrinking. So I was like, what are you doing? Now he's some superhuman? And he's like undefeatable. Gets run over by a car and gets right back up and everything.
Yeah.
And it's like, what? When did he become this like...
Yeah, I mean, that stuff doesn't bother me because that's like silly, like campy stuff.
Campy?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Like cheesy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Going camping.
So it doesn't bother me. It's just it's a little confusing. Like what were you doing there? I don't feel like he got bigger.
I mean, it could have just been the angle.
Yeah,
it could have just been the angle.
I feel like he was not actually on, like the dude that he hits or kills or whatever was not actually on screen. Like he was added in to the movie after.
Yeah.
His like silhouette of his back was added in after. Whoa. And so it just looked weird. The proportions looked weird.
Yeah, so like they already let this guy go, and like we're like, oh shoot, we forgot to actually kill him off.
Yeah, I don't know because it was so like one shot he was the normal size that he had been the whole movie, and then the next shot like it didn't show him growing.
No,
he
it
just
was just
big.
like whoa, and it was
It just was big out of nowhere,
towering over him. His hands were huge. Everything. What is this?
Well, it was kind of like that scene with the girl, like when he's like attacking this girl, and then it like goes to a different shot, and she has no shirt out of nowhere.
Yeah, her shirt just disappears. It doesn't. He doesn't rip it off. He doesn't like. Nothing happens. It's just like.
It's just gone.
Okay, she has no shirt on now. Like, let's put a, Friday the 13th type scene in here.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, that's kind of like what it was. It was just like one shot was this, next shot was that. Okay.
Yeah.
So that was a weird segment for sure.
They definitely had scenes in there that were like, let's make sure to get like a typical horror movie scene, and like the girl in the hot tub. Like, what's the point? I get like her Instagramming. That's how she saw him. And everything. Yeah.
You could kind of see that coming. Like, that they were going to be in a picture. You could tell. Some of the lighting was cool with, like, the flashing, like, the on and off and on and off. Because then they would, like, pop up in, you know, different places and stuff. Which was cool. I mean, it's kind of unrealistic how many lights were flickering like that. It's like every other room the lights were flickering. And so it was very convenient for the movie. But I like that.
That's what
that was cool. But yeah, they definitely wanted to check the boxes of the cheesy horror movie.
Yeah.
To put in there.
But then like the scenes that bug me, like the filming, that you were saying you liked.
Yeah.
Like in the pool.
Yeah.
When they're like filming her swimming, and that scene was like the longest thing in the world. Like,
it was long.
It was like, is this like an Olympic-sized pool that she's swimming across? Like, oh my goodness gracious. And she's like, not even putting her effort into actually swimming away.
She's like trying to run in the water, I guess.
Yeah, like, it's like, dude, he's not going to swim, so why don't you actually start swimming? Like, but then the way they have it filmed is like, in the water and like you're not seeing anything that's going on. It's like, what was the point of that?
So like, like the frantic, chaotic filming with the kills and the chases and stuff, I didn't like that. Some of the, I guess, cinematography with some of the scenery and some of that stuff was cool, like of the woods and, you know.
Yeah,
all
you
that.
mentioned that, yeah.
I like those parts. And then even that kill where Piglet hits her, like that was kind of cool, a kind of cool shot because it was like slow motion and, that was decent. But the...
but
when it's
leading
all
up to it,
crazy
it's like,
it's
oh my
what
gosh.
is happening?
Yeah. And it was like 10 minutes long.
Yeah, it was long.
Like,
good thing this movie was not a long movie. It was, I don't even think it's an hour and a half. It's an hour and 24 minutes, actually. We have it up right now. So that's good. They definitely they knew that this didn't need to be longer.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm curious what they're gonna do with the criticism that they are getting for this movie. It's definitely all over social media.
Do you think they're really gonna do anything though? Because if they've already announced it, have they already started writing it and they've already got it set?
I don't know. I mean, they announced it, and I don't know if they've. I'm sure they have the ideas and stuff, at least. The story kinda that they're going to be telling. But I don't know about the script being written and casting and, all that. I'm sure it's going to be the same writer and director. Same production and everything. But hopefully they just take some of the criticism and apply it to the next one. Yeah, we'll see. So we'll see. I'm curious to see the trailer when the new one is gonna come out to see if they make some adjustments, and then that will tell me if I'm even interested in seeing it. Yeah. And then same with Peter Pan and Bambi.
Yeah, he's saying Bambi.
Yeah, Bambi Reckoning or something.
Man.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of like how they're going off this whole, like, okay, these characters that have been through trauma, like...
Yeah. Bambi, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, has some trauma there. So,
and so let's, see what really happened to them after the trauma. And,
yeah, I don't know.
Having this creative
Bambi
way of going with it.
Seems like it's going to be... like, just watching Winnie the Pooh... How are they going to do anything with Bambi that'll be good? Because
no
way.
What are they going to do? Make Bambi into a mutant and it's like a person human walking?
with a deer head or something.
So this is the thing, is we've seen a good amount of movies with low budget, know, and what sticks out to me is like we've seen Terrifier. Terrifier did not have a high budget.
No.
And that movie is awesome. Yeah. And we've seen The Mean One. Yeah. That movie did not have a high budget. Was done wonderfully. It's another one that is like a parody type thing. I know for you it was a little too silly and everything, but they were able to use that character and really stay true to the character throughout the entire film. Right. He didn't talk at all, huh? No.
Oh,
did he say something at the very end?
At the end, I think.
Okay, well, which is the same as Pooh.
Yeah.
Which is my favorite scene. Yeah. Where he's like, "You left."
Only thing he says, and the voice I thought was cool. Like, just keep that voice. That's fine. And then have extra dialogue. Like even just a page, like one page of the script. With Pooh, like a page worth of lines.
Yeah, I think even like half a page would have been fine. Yeah. Like just a few one-liners here and there would have been, like, it would have reminded you who we were watching. Yeah. And you need to fix Piglet. Like, that was not Piglet. But this is the thing, is like, you can't even go off of, it was low budget. We didn't have a high budget. There have been plenty of films that have been fabulous films done with a low budget. Yeah. That's not an excuse. It was the writing.
Writing, and just the creative choices.
Yeah.
With the characters and stuff. To me, like something like Terrifier or like Paranormal Activity, Blair Witch Project, like some of these
Evil
really
Dead.
low, like Evil Dead. Yeah. There's passion behind it. Like you can tell, like they put a lot of effort into it. Mm-hmm. This one, not necessarily.
They're like, oh, I got an idea.
It's like, I got a cool idea.
Cool.
All right, let's make an easy slasher, and people will eat it up because it's Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's end there.
Okay, I think I'm gonna move my rating after talking about it for so long. I have to give it a 55.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
All right.
Okay.
Wait.
So overall, we're gonna do this for the movie.
Man, you got off the crying.
We get a cry and shame. All right, so look out for upcoming episodes. We've got the Evil Dead series that we're getting into.
We haven't done it yet.
Huh?
We haven't done the Evil Dead yet.
We did the first one.
Oh, we did.
recorded the
Okay.
first one, which will be coming out next after this one.
Okay.
So we have the Evil Dead series. So that's Evil Dead 1, 2, Army of Darkness, the Evil Dead remake, and then Ash vs. Evil Dead, the series. So we'll be doing episodes on all that leading up to Evil Dead, the new one, coming out in April. We also have Cocaine Bear coming out pretty soon. So we'll probably do a review on that.
See if that bear's scarier than this one.
Yeah. So we'll probably be doing a review on that and, some other random ones. So look out for all that. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can like the video below. You can comment. You can subscribe. All those good things.
Oh, wait. What's subscribe?
I don't know.
Oh.
This is liking.
Like.
Don't do any of these.
No.
No.
No. Just
yeah,
go away if you want to do that.
Leave a comment. Tell your friends. All right. That's it. This.
It's
wait,
your.
No,
wait,
this has been Scare Talk.
Sleep time.
Don't let Winnie the Pooh bite.
You could say Eeyore.
Don't let Eeyore bite either.